Hello everyone, it's me again. I'm back. But today, this will more be of a rant or something similar to that, because I'm trying to figure out what this video was really going to be about. But I usually just do it with a flow. I don't do scripts or anything like that. So if you just stick around for the rant or whatever, that would be very nice. But let's continue with the video either way. The philosophy of Subaru Naxi. As you've seen the title, of course, Subaru Naxi from ReZero. I'm pretty sure you all know about the show. If you don't, then you probably don't watch anime or have never read manga before. But if you do know, then you obviously know a lot about this character. And the reason why this character connects with so many people is because of how Subaru Naxi is portrayed as a human being, and has constantly been shown how he fails, but he gets back up either way, and he shows such self-hatred and self-loathing views of himself as a person. And you know, I have those experiences as well, where I've showed self-loathing things about myself when I have not committed acts towards where I wanted to achieve these things. Like I have failed, what could I do as example, schoolwork, or you know, failed in helping a friend or something similar to that. And this is why this character connects to me on a significantly deep level, because this character goes through so many things, like trying to save friends, like trying to help them, and also try to defeat the witch cult, as we all know is the antagonist of the whole ReZero world. But really, it's great because it shows how significant Subaru is, because he has no powers, he has no abilities, and in the only authority he really has is returned by death, till he gets later abilities like the unseen hand. But they aren't really powerful, they aren't really powerful abilities. His most powerful ability is returned by death, and it just shows how much he has to suffer and how much things he has to go through, and how he self-loathes himself as a character, how he hates himself so much, where he literally pushes himself to go down these different routes. There's these what-if scenarios, or what-if routes as you would call them, where he goes down other pathways because he sees himself in such a bad light, how he hates himself so much, like in the sloth-if route, or wrath-if, because I'm pretty sure that's where he also hates himself significantly a lot. I won't mention pride-if or greed-if or gluttony-if, because those if stories are different. They're not really self-loathing. They're more... Gluttony-if is more, you know, trying to recollect all the memories of the hero. Someone who was really powerful. Someone who was actually better than everyone. And pride-if, well, pride-if is about someone becoming at such a significant level where he is prideful about himself, where he won't be emotional, where he won't self-loathe himself. Or he might self-loathe himself a little bit, but it won't be superly horrible into a degree where he will just, you know, turn himself off like he does in the envy route. And that's why that will never come along. And greed-if, well, greed-if is just a depressing version, but Subaru doesn't self-loathe himself. He just manipulates everyone to get the happy ending that he wants and will achieve for, even though if it affects other people's lives. Like Emily Tan or Beatrice as example, he would neglect them all for his own ambitions with Echidna, as you know, the witch of greed. Either way, the reason why sloth-if and wrath-if are the ones that really tell a story about how Subaru suffers as a character is because wrath-if, he, you know, avoids everyone. He's paranoid, and that's what Subaru is in the envy route. He's paranoid of everyone and everyone around him because he keeps dying to all of them. And it shows as a person as well as us that we have also paranoia, where it just sinks into our head, where we believe these people are going to hurt us, but they will not hurt us. And with Subaru, they do hurt Subaru, but at the end of the day, Subaru finds a way to forgive them, the way to move past it, the way to see that he doesn't need to feel hatred towards these people anymore, that he can just be a happy person, that he can prove himself to help these people, even though they have killed him and have took such a significant amount of time from him and killed him and made him suffer and made him go through depression and through thinking of himself as such a weak, unlikable person. It just shows how much Subaru as a character is, and it really helps for people like me or people like you who see Subaru Natsuki as nothing. And there's always reason where people say, oh, I wish Subaru was, powerful. I wish he had powers, because, a lot of anime tropes want to have characters that are powerful and are strong and, know everything. But we don't need that. We don't need characters like that to be so powerful or so, huge in power like that. That's not the whole end deal. We don't need that. And it's been going on for so long where we have characters who have powers and just win every battle in one hit. While Subaru has to do thinking, where he has to do critical thinking, where he has to master strategy in a way of defeating his enemies with, allies and friends around him. He can't just rely on himself because he has no powers. So he uses Return by Death to help him strategize against enemies that he has already faced plenty of times and died against. But he gets back up because he knows that he can win against them even though he has failed so many times. It's like a video game. An example like Elden Ring, where you fight a boss so many times and you have died against them so many times, but you keep getting back up to fight them. But the difference with Subaru isn't a video game character. In a sense, he's like a real person. He's like us. He's a real normal kid who has just lived a simple life and trying to do as much as he can. And the reason why it has showed like so much, attention, and why I love this character so much, and it brings me so much joy to see a character similar to me, similar to what I have gone through, similar to what I think, where I self-loathe myself and think I can't do anything great, and I have nothing to achieve from. This character instead doesn't believe any of that and actually does so much more. He actually gets back up with friends who help him along the way. Yes, Subaru isn't the only one who's doing all this stuff. He's not the one who is, pushing himself to keep going. There is his friends as well who help him along the journey to guide him slightly. Even though they never know about Return by Death or any of his powers, they guide him and help him and actually, prove to be good friends, to prove to be significant people to help him. And that's why Subaru is as loved as a character by anyone, because he's actually a person. He's actually someone who has nightmares, has fears, has difficulties fighting enemies, and difficulties to not get hurt by these type of people, even though he has contributed a lot to the the area, contributed a lot to the kingdom of Lugunica and everywhere around that world. And it's just so crazy how a lot of people wish Subaru, like I see on Instagram and like that and some other places, where they wish Subaru had powers. But I'm happy there's an anime out there and a manga out there that Subaru isn't a superhero or something powerful. He doesn't need to be that. He can be just himself, and it proves as much as we need that we can all just be ourselves, where we don't need to push to be some image of a hero. That's you can just be your own person, you can be your own thing, and you can see your potential in with yourself, and it helps a lot. And that's why I love Subaru as a character, because he has proved again and again as a character that he is a hero no matter what. No matter what people do to him, he can prove every time and every day that people around him who help him, and they have powers themselves, that they can help him, and he can overcome these things with Return by Death, that he can always save them, because he's a great strategist. He has a great mindset. He knows what to do. He knows how to prove himself every day and every time. And that's why I believe Subaru is one of the greatest characters in fiction, because he has proved so much of himself in ReZero and showed himself as a character, and what he has gone through, like depression or not having a great life in the real world, and shows that we as people can also do the same thing, that we can get back up and try again, even though we have failed in many ways. even though we have caused many problems. And like that, that's why Subaru is will always be one of the greatest characters, because he has proved again and again that things will never stop, things will never change, because he will just get back up. And that's what we have to believe in ourselves. We have to also get back up. We have to also prove ourselves as people, and you know, not always think negatively about what's happening around us, or be depressed, or you know, to lose stuff. And Subaru has gone through mental problems down his journey, where he believes people are not there to help him, like he gets depressed, where he believes people are just going to leave him behind because he sees himself as useless. You know, he self-loathes about himself. He doesn't think of his achievements as highly as he should. And as a character, he grows into a better person, where he will believe in himself. He will actually think that he's a better person in every single way. And that's why Subaru will always be the greatest character in my heart.